Big up, and welcome to Liverpool 12th Man Show. I am Liverpool 12th Man, and I am joined with JK and Lee, and we are going to chop up a little bit about maybe some of the stuff that they were already previously talking about on the Irishman show, but also maybe some other topics as well that we can break down, talk about, of course, about what we think on the subjects. Big up, Andy. Long time no see. Good to see you. I have not heard that. I've not heard that news. He's saying that Ignacio, a name that was definitely a part of early transfer rumors, but certainly cooled off. Maybe that's getting populated because of the, possibility of Konaté not signing, maybe moving on, or even the possibility of Guehi joining the team, and we have to figure out a backup in case Crystal Palace continues to hold firm with their, I think, overpriced evaluation. So I guess we'll see about that. Big up to Philly Liverpool FC. Hope you're well, my brother. Big up to Redbird, Red for Life. All the brothers and sisters in the house. Definitely good to see you. Lee, how are you doing?
I'm okay, mate. I'm good, thanks. Just making myself a cup of tea.
What kind of tea do you make yourself?
Oh, I think it's Tetley, just Tetley tea bags, which is quite a decent make in Britain. Tetley tea. It's not a bad one anyway.
I mean, is it like black tea? Is it like Earl Grey? Is it like
no, it's not fancy tea. It's just like fairly normal tea, I think, but a decent brand.
Tea, I guess.
Yeah.
Black tea, bro. Assam.
I've had some different like Earl Grey and that, but I couldn't get all like them ones that taste like citrusy, and I can't get used to them. I just like normal tea, whatever the name is for it, regular tea.
Eating's a bit weak.
Hyler was on Irishman's telling me about, don't get me started on the teas. I think I might have just poked the bear a little bit in getting him started, but it's all good. It's all good. He'll ban Lipton and those other heretics. I got you. How about for you, JK? What are you getting a proper cup of tea or?
Oh, of course. Best drink in the world. There you go. You're right. But there's two types of tea different. You got Darjeeling, which is a weaker tea, and then you got Assam. That's the one that in England sort of big time. Now you like your traditional Tetley's, PG, all them sort of firms. It's like Assam sort of tea, yeah. But tea's the best. But you got Indian tea as well, where it's more of it's not a tea bag. It's granules, like tea granules, and you can make Indian tea with the ginger and stuff like
that. Okay, yeah, all right. I've seen. I saw actually the origin of tea. It was like a weird way of like, it was like tea was kind of found by accident, sort of, or something like that. It was interesting. Before we get too into the teas, Philly Liverpool FC asked, "What's the panel's YouTube channels?" I don't believe the panel has any of the current panelists have their own YouTube channels per se, but they're all active on channels such as this one. I know that these guys are normal, either regulars or at least certainly often as guests on Anfield, on the Irishman's channel, and others as well. On top of that,
what you're thinking.
Yeah, whether it's LRFC and those types of channels as well. Shout out to High Lord, by the way, though. Big up. Shout out to Red Armchair Supporter as well. So I don't know if you guys, I caught like little portions of the show from the Irishman show. Today was a little bit of a late day for me, but I was too busy trying to take USA to the quarterfinals of the World Cup on FIFA on my EA Sports. So I was engaged, actually, England was in my group in the beginning. So, important stuff here. And I'm sure everyone's like on the edge of the seats trying to understand, to hear about my video game pursuits. But I know that this one story that I did see was a very interesting story. Now, this isn't necessarily the headline story that I want to get into, but was certainly interesting. And I'll give you a little snippets of what we're going to talk about today. Some of the things we're going to talk about today is Liverpool hold firm on Ibu and amid serious Real Madrid interest. Isak rejects a new Newcastle deal and sets his sights on a Liverpool move. In today's packed 90-minute episode, just about what we're going to try to keep it so we don't keep you too late on a Thursday. We'll break down the latest transfer drama, we'll reveal who shined in Liverpool's opening training in Hong Kong, and explore why Hugo Ekitike might take the number 9 shirt. Plus, wild transfer gossip with some news being dropped about Rodri, maybe even Heung-Min's son, and included in that list, Xavi Simons, actually. So subscribe, hit the like button if you can. We're making a bar to hit 50 likes on our shows if you can. So just hit the like from the gate, and then we don't have to talk about it anymore. I also have Baz here with us. Big up, Baz. How are you?
Big up, man. Big up. Thank you for having me. Big up the other panelists, and big up to the chat. How are we all doing today?
Good. Are you sipping on some tea as well or something by any chance?
No. I'm sipping on some Ray Nephews right about now. I'm very happy. I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good.
Good.
Well, I'm being greedy. I made 2 cups of tea. So I'm being quite greedy with our transfers. My stomach isn't full yet as well as transfers are concerned. So I thought I'd make myself 2 cups of tea as well.
Okay.
Yeah. What did I tell you, 12?
What's that?
We're getting both of them, bruvs. We're getting both of them.
Yeah. Very much so. I was happy to see. I'm happy to see that people are right. I'm happy to see. Hey, I got it wrong in the sense of thinking that we would. I mean, it hasn't gotten finished and over the line and everything else and blah blah blah. But I am happy to say, like, as in, if I get something wrong or if I'm incorrect in the prediction, I'll definitely announce it. I don't really mind it because that's what predictions are. You get some right, you get some wrong. I thought that we would possibly go for him next summer, and Newcastle would certainly hold tight. But now that he's announced that he wants to move, or at least that's what the rumors are, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We'll get into that. Let's just get into that right now, actually. Let's not waste any time, I guess. Isak wants Liverpool. That's what is being said in the journals. The Swedish striker has reportedly rejected Newcastle's contract offer and told the club he wants to explore a move away. Now, let me say this loud. Isak has been left out of Newcastle's preseason tour. Liverpool's interest, let's be honest, it's concrete. The only other club that is reportedly in the running would be Chelsea, and apparently Chelsea have announced that they are withdrawing their interest for the player. Saudi Arabia, there's a Saudi Arabian club, Al Hilal, is also a possibility. I don't think that Isak is announcing his interest to go and move abroad by not necessarily by saying that he wants to go and play for a Saudi Arabian club. But then again, who knows? Money talks sometimes. And as they say, BS walks. So I know that Isak's preference is the Reds. That's what's being said. That's huge. It's a big, big thing. We're going to get into that, Thomas, about Konaté. Certainly so. We're going to get that. That's the next segment. But I'm going to ask, since Baz was very vocal on his prediction, is Alexander Isak worth breaking the British transfer record again, just weeks after Verts? Is he worth breaking it again?
100%. 100%. I mean, if we're after a striker, and you can only buy what's there at that time, isn't it? And for me, besides your Mbappes and these other players who have not too long joined their clubs, etc., Isak is probably in a small pool of great players is available or could be available if we want to be proper about it. He's definitely worth it. I think. Look, we're at a stage where we're very attractive to a lot of these players now. You know, we're not that team anymore. We're that team that is. We've put out a statement. We put out a statement that look, we ain't playing around. We ain't done this in a longest time. And I think in all the years, I'm 47 years old. I mean, I've managed to see like the ending of the great teams back in the days, up till the troubles that we had in the, you know, from the 90s and stuff like that, up till Jurgen Klopp. And I think this is probably the best window we've had. And, you know, right now we could attract players. I think if someone like a Mbappe, for example, or Vinicius wanted to leave, these are great players. We could be in there and say, do you want to come? And they most likely will come. We're playing in the best league in the world. And personally, I think Isak is the best out there at this moment in time. Premiership proven, great player. I really do think breaking the bank for him will just mean that, you know, we're there. We're not just competing for the Premier League and stuff like that. We're looking to dominate, and even abroad in Europe. And I think having him potentially in our team, along with Ekitike, will give us, like I said before, you know, obviously, you know, rest in peace, Diego Jota, but like he's no longer here now. But you know, it will give us our stronghold, you know, in terms of our forward lines. We've had that over the last few years, and don't be surprised if Ekitike and Isak both start. I have a feeling. Do you know?
That was my next question.
It reminds me a little bit like, you know, when we had Ryan Babel back in the day. I think he'd have been great as a forward, but he played on the left wing with Torres on, you know, up front with Gerrard and that type. It wouldn't surprise me if we do sell someone like potentially like a Diaz or something like that. We essentially play him on the left and have Isak up in the middle and vice versa. So yeah, to answer your question, 100% is worth breaking a bank, and I'm really hoping that we can do this now. And everything that's been said, you know, he does want Liverpool. And just one more thing before I finish, what you were saying about this Saudi Arabian team, I don't think it was even a thing. I think he knew that you know, Newcastle couldn't give him the money. He asked for some ridiculous money. I think it's just like PA just to say, well, pay me then if you want me. You know, and he knew like there's a lot of things that have been coming out, like in a sense of like they're not being able to land their top targets. We have, other teams have. He knows that he's not going to be doing much over there in Newcastle. And that's no disrespect to Newcastle, but I mean, you know, there's still a few years in, you know, before anything happens for them to be able to really flex their financial muscles. Liverpool are just there at this moment in a great moments. And I think he was never going to Saudi Arabia. I think, you know, it was just all kind of like, well, you know, to keep some of the Newcastle fans, like, you know, a little bit more like not hating him, like, okay, well, let's talk about a deal, as opposed to saying, yo, you know what, I just want to leave. But yeah, I'm happy, man. I'm excited. I'm hoping this actually happens.
Yeah, I agreed. I mean, you could say more for what Isak might be able to garner if, in the sense of like money for the club. I mean, if they want to make some big name expenditures or big name, you know, sales, then they could possibly do so. I know that apparently Sesko, I believe, is now their one of their main targets that they're looking for. But then again, he's like one of the few targets that's left on when it comes to strikers that is actively on the market. I was going to ask JK this one. How would you rank
Mm-hmm.
him compared to Hugo Ekitike? I know that you do watch the German Bundesliga. So how would you rank him compared to Hugo Ekitike? And do you agree with Baz? Could they actually play together in the same lineup?
What it is, it's like it's going to be sort of tricky when you look at how we played last season. We didn't really play with one striker, let alone two. So it'll be exciting to see how that one will work out. I'd love to play with two strikers. Probably my favorite formation. But Ekitike is more of a dribbler with the ball. Isak's more of a bang sort of striker. That's how I look at them two. Yeah, where Ekitike can dribble past 3 or 4, no problem. Isak, very clever, but he knows how to finish. So that's a good thing.
Okay. Do you think that I'm going to ask Lee, do you think it's going to be an problem, considering that even if we do get Isak, which is all well and good, that'd be fantastic. However, he's going to carry a huge wage demand, I'm sure. So do you think Liverpool's wage structure would be affected by matching his possible 300,000, that's what's being reported, 300,000 pound a week demand?
I would imagine we'd have to offload Chiesa if he's on like 140. He'd have to go to accommodate Isak's wages, but I'd be okay with that. And there'll be others leaving. Nunes' wage will be gone if he leaves. Diaz is only small, but that'll be gone too if he leaves, won't it? I could cope with us not buying a replacement for Diaz if we bought Isak, because we can use Ekitike in wide positions if we need to. And we can use Wirtz and Szoboszlai out there. We'd still have Gakpo and Salah, wouldn't we? Maybe if we just bought Isak and Gay, I'd be happy with that. And not have a straight replacement for Diaz. We'd have Rio as well, wouldn't we?
Yeah. I mean, with Isak is under contract until 2028. So, and I don't know off the top of my head of what he's making. I'm sure Hilo or someone out there could give us that number, but he's not making peanuts. I know he's making 6 figures. This would be, though, a substantial jump in salary for him. It still gets back to argument that, Newcastle could still say, you know what, that's great that you want to go, but we need you. And it could be, is this just a power play by him, or is this a genuine summer move? What do you think, Lee? I'll return with that question to you.
Well, it seems like he wants to move now. It's just whether we can make it happen. I really don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here. I'd love to think that we can have both of them. It'd be great if we can. I don't know what's going to happen really there, because they have got money anyway. Newcastle, they don't need to sell him, but that's not the issue, is it? The issue is, does he want to stay? It seems we can afford him anyway. That's what's being said, that we can definitely afford to buy him. So,
but what do you do? What do you do with if Isak does say yes, and let's just say that all of our current strikers are have been moved on from. What or who would you start if you had Isak or you had Ekitike? Who would you start?
Start Isak.
Isak,
because he's already been playing in the Prem, and bring Hugo in a little bit at a time.
Okay. Baz, who would you start?
Yeah, just like what Lee said, I think Isak is Premiership proven, and I think Ekitike, he'll get to speed, and I'm pretty sure he'll have games as well to work his the Premier League.
JK, who would you start? You can tell us in the chat too who you would start.
Isak as well, bro.
Okay. There is the chance. I think we were talking about this backstage. there is the chance that you could figure out a way. You could figure out a way to play both of them together. I know that this coach, as JK pointed out, hasn't done it too often. However, there have been occurrences that he has done a 4-2-4 as a formation. Most notably, I remember when he played both Nunez and Jota together, for instance, and Nunez got the assist to Jota for the game winner. I think it was against Everton, I want to say. So I mean, like when we're searching for something, he has put in the effort of putting in a front line of emphasizing a striker heavy front line. But that's not necessarily saying that he would want to go from the very start of games in that fashion and playing that way. But who knows? Who knows? Heiler is saying it was mentioned that Isak said no to a new contract from Newcastle for $200,000 a week. They also said he wanted $300,000 a week. Yep.
Yeah, I'll just quickly add on that one. What you're saying, that's actually true. I think they were supposed to agree. Some people, depending on how you want to look at it, some people are saying that he's being greedy, he's asking for money in order to push the move because they're not going to pay him. Some are actually saying that before the American woman that was there in the consortium to buy Newcastle, she's gone. I think it was Amanda. I think what they said is they will up his wages to 300, and they've gone behind his back by saying, backtrack by saying no, that's not the case. They're not going to be able to pay him. So I think that's what's really potentially could be one of the reasons why he wants to leave. On top of obviously wanting that.
Yeah, they're playing a little bit of like playing a little dirty here, playing the politics there.
It's a bit silly.
Yeah,
he's the best player.
Yeah. It is a bit silly considering that he's the best player. He's arguably the most recognizable player. Like as in, whenever you talk about like kit sales and the likes, probably the most like highly sought after kit sale is probably his number and his likeness. It's an interesting move. It's a very interesting move. I don't know what it's going to take, and how high would you go with the price tag? How high would you go in trying to? Because we already offered him 120 some million or something like that. They already know that we spent 150 million euros basically, or like how much should we spend for Verts? Like 115,
116 or something like that.
116 million, right?
Well,
so
that's all including his add-ons as well when he meets the targets.
So 120 is what we offered reportedly before. The number that they wanted to do is 150, or that's what is being reported on as being the number they're interested in. That's where the starting gate starts for even entertaining the idea. How high would you go? What's the number? What number do you say that's I got to push away from the table? That's just too much.
Maximum, I think. Maybe 155. That's me personally. I wouldn't go more
155 million pounds.
I think in order for them, they're still going to have pride. And let's remember, they need a quick reaction as well, because there ain't many strikers out there for them to sign. Sesko is one of them, but essentially he could be gone, and then they're in big trouble. So they need to do a deal quick. Liverpool are quite masters with all of this, but I think they're talking about 150 million pounds just to start talking. So they could potentially be like north to that. Like they would probably want something like maybe 160, 170, something stupid to just make Liverpool like think nah. Because let's think about it. No one else can afford him. Chelsea are probably the next ones. Chelsea at the moment they're after Simons and another Hato, I think it is. So they're not going to spend crazy either. They've just got Pedro as well. Arsenal just bought Gyökeres. I don't think they're going to spend. He ain't going to go to United. What other teams are out there essentially in the Premier League? Barcelona can't afford him. All the other teams have got players. So it's only viable for him to go to Liverpool, and Liverpool will fit him. The only thing is, I want Isak, but every player has his price. But, I think it might take 135 to 140 to potentially get him, but Newcastle can be arsey and say, you know what, nah, 150, then we'll start talking, but no way over 155 for me. But I think 140 to 145 potentially might just get him.
Okay, yeah, Retchely's saying anywhere from 140 to 150, I take it, is where he's settling in on. 155. Wow. 155. Wow. I'd have to see what the conversion of would be. What's 155 million in euros? Does anyone know? I have to do the math real quick.
I haven't done the maths.
That must be about 135 in pounds, 155 euros. I think. Something like that.
155. Let me see if I can do the quick math here.
178 euro. 178 million, bro.
Okay. So basically, if we were to spend 178 million, I'm going to put in euros because a lot of the other
181.
How much is it?
181.5.
181. Okay,
Yeah.
that's even that'll even emphasize the point even more then for me. 181.5 million euros. The reason why I'm converting into euros is simply because when you're dealing with I understand this is an inner England deal and everything else, so it's going to be in pounds. I understand that, but I'm just utilizing it in comparison to other deals that have been made throughout Europe in general. Okay, in Europe. Okay. So 181.5 million euros would mean that his transfer fee would be more expensive than Kylian Mbappe's transfer to PSG from Monaco. That's wild. It's not close. I understand it's not. I wanted to hear what the number was. I thought it was going to be closer to 200 than it is, but okay, because I doubt that it's ever going to, if we're really going to ever see the Neymar deal again. Barcelona to PSG was, I only reason why I do remember the number is because it was 3-2, so it's 222 million euros. It was 222, so like that was the year before. That was the year before Mbappe got transferred from Monaco to PSG. But 181.5 million euros is what you'd be willing to that's incredible.
Do you know what though?
Isak is an incredible. I was in the land here to say I think Isak's an incredible player. I would not put Isak on the lines of saying that his transfer should be equivalent to Mbappe's transfer.
Do you know what? The market's just crazy at the minute. That's the thing, isn't it? The only argument you may have, and it might just be a small argument, is like when Mbappe went to PSG, he was still a youngster, wasn't he? He had great talent, obviously, but I think what it is, like Isak is 25, so he's a bit more like not finished article, but near the finished article. If
more
you know
refined,
yeah. Perhaps that's the only pushback, but even then, that's just people would debate that all day long.
It's wild, very wild. It's very wild. I know some can push back on my number and say, hey, well, we did get 160 million euros for for Coutinho. I get that. Coutinho was a talent. I thought that Coutinho was worth every penny of it. I just think that Coutinho unfortunately ran up against injuries that curtailed his progress and ability to maintain that level in Barcelona. And there was high expectations placed on a 160 million pound, a 60 million euro player. I think, but for I guess 180 million, I could maybe see you saying 120 million euros or something like that. 120 million euros, maybe 100. Maybe if they want to make it so that they get something that is over so they can say, oh, well, we got the British transfer record for our player. Okay, 120, which is what we offered them.
Yeah.
Which would be what, 140 euros, I think, or something like that, close to, right?
Yeah. The thing is, the market is like they hold the cards in it. Like you quite rightly said, he's under a 2-year contract over there currently, or is it 3? I can't remember. He's under contract over there. He's their property. Yeah. So they will say, listen, that's what we want. And essentially they can just say, you know what? Well, if you're not going to pay that, he's staying. It's as simple as that. They might have an unhappy player, but they're in a Champions League this season as well. So they're in a Champions League and they need a striker. And I think this is going to get done very soon as well. I mean, I know it's a big deal. It's another British record potentially, but I think they can't mess about, and it's getting closer to that, that September window. They're going to have to act now. And I think Liverpool will use it to their advantage because now they've unsettled the player. They can now essentially just drag their heels to mess them up. And, they're going to want to do a deal. They might it might go as far as 120, 125. They'll pause a little bit, you know what I mean? And just make Newcastle sweat it out because they're nearer to the time, the agreement. And then maybe they could just settle on 135 or 140, something like that. But when you asked me, I think that's me. If I had that checkbook right now, I'd say, listen, you know what? I want this guy now. I need to integrate him now. You guys can get your player Sesko now. Here's 155, obviously in installments or whatever it is, like structures like they do these days. So I think it could be a 135 to 140, 14.
That's incredible. It's still mind-boggling. I to answer some of the questions in the chat. Let's see. No way Hughes and Edwards are spending $1 more than what they need. Part of Lee thinks that's a lot. Part of him thinks that's the modern game. Part of him thinks that it's not our money. It isn't. So spend it however they please. Philly Liverpool FC asks, does Newcastle really have a choice not to sell if he really wants a move to us? They need to act fast. They can't risk him being unhappy. I understand the point. To be honest with you, they don't have to sell if they don't want to. The unique thing about transfers is that all parties have to be willing and committed to the negotiation or to the agreement. And what I mean by that is obviously the buyer has to obviously agree on the price and the terms, but also the actual player has to not only the terms that he'll be walking into, because then that's how a lot of deals can fall apart. They can simply say, well, Liverpool are, offer me 200, I want 300. So I thought it was going to work, but I don't want to go there now, and then it falls apart. Or even there could be the case where, again, Newcastle could do what is happening in Manchester. And that is Manchester have 4 or 5 players now that have returned from loan, players that are unwanted by the club. They want to move on from them. So they have to find them a place if they want to make some money. But if they don't, guess what? They're on contract. So they can just loan them back out, or they could just have them practice on their own, separate from the main team. And I was speaking with about this with the crew a couple days ago, because I forget how to pronounce his name. The Manchester City pundit that he played for Manchester City. He does ESPN FC. He has and get his name. I have to look it up. But yes, that's the player. And he was speaking about how like Manchester City did exactly this. They freezed them out in a sense. They told him to show up.
I that interview myself. Yeah, he talked about him and quite a few other big stars at the time as well, alongside with him, frozen out, weren't they? Yeah.
Yeah. It was even dirtier back when, like, because Craig Burley spoke about it happening to him. In Craig Burley's era, the players had even less leverage, like less bargaining power back in his era. So, I mean, like, it was one of those things where, like, you know, he talked about how they were going to go play a preseason game or something along those lines. The bus showed up and they weren't told about the bus showing up. So him and another player that was on the chopping blocks went outside, got on the bus and sat in the front seat and was just like, we're not moving until the team comes out. And the coach sat there for like a good bit of time. Then eventually he's like, you know what? Screw it.
Do you know the thing is, I think, Newcastle, they're a project team. And the thing is, right, remember, they're trying to be one of the most successful teams about. If FFP didn't exist, they probably would. They'll buy everything because they're their most richest club. But they need to be a team that potential players one day would want to go and play for them. Now, if they did something like that to Isak and just say, you know what, you're just going to sit in the reserves and you're going to rot till your contract ends. Do you think anyone else is going to want to go there? Potential?
Oh, you're spot on. But you would think that was the case, but that's what they're doing in Manchester United.
But yeah, but you see, the thing is, Manchester United, and disrespect. Forget them.
Yeah? There you go.
They're has-been. You understand? They ain't going to win nothing in the next 10, 15 years because what's going to happen? They're bringing some players in now, yeah? Amram's getting the season after next, he's going to be sacked again. There's going to be another manager in. They're just going to go what Chelsea did until they find the right manager, which you don't know how long it can take. But they can't even feed their own staff over there. You understand? So, like, they're losing money bad. And I think, like, with them, there has been. And I don't think, like, they're getting it a little bit better now. Having said that, they did buy Ibrahima for 72 odd million. But they're desperate.
And they also bought Cunha. It's not like you just talked about. Those are two high-profile players, and they know the situation of what they're doing to those, to high-profile players. Anthony, Rashford, like these are these aren't Sancho. These aren't like some even Garnacho. These aren't players that are like nobodies or no names. These are some big name players, and yet they're still getting the cold shoulder. So like that, it's just a matter of like, you figure out what you want to do, or a team can basically tell you, hey, we're going to freeze you out.
The players that I feel sorry for more are the death row players on death row at Chelsea. They're all on 7-10-year contracts.
Absolutely. You know what? We were speaking. Brian brought up something about. Because I asked who you think that Newcastle should go after if Isak were to leave the team, and he said that he thought that they should go after possibly Nicholas Jackson, and I thought that was a good idea. I mean, it's not a bad player at all, and it would be someone to basically, that certainly wants to prove a point. He wouldn't have any opposition in being the first choice there, as opposed to Chelsea, where there's like 2-3 other players all trying to be the number one striker, and Nicholas Jackson's on like an 8-year contract or something like that, like something ridiculous, and yet like they're talking about moving on from him. I'm like, yeah, but he's on an 8-year contract.
Do you know how much he's going to cost them?
Or
like, say for example,
something like that. I'll make sure I got the years right. I'll look it up real quick. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, just saying, like, you know, someone like Nicholas Jackson, all right? I mean, he's still quite a young player and he's got potential in it. But do you know how much he's going to cost someone like Newcastle because he's on that big contract, like, you know, years contract? This guy will probably be in his 30s by the time his contract finishes. You know what I mean? Or near 30. Like, they're going to, like, those players over there, they're on big wages and on big contracts. And I think, like, you know, they're the ones that you got to feel sorry for the most. Imagine like Nicholas Jackson that doesn't get a kick in.
His contract goes to 2033.
There you go, man. I probably won't be alive by then, but hey.
2033.
That's crazy, isn't it?
It's crazy. He joined the club in 2023. He's got a contract that takes him to 2033.
That's mad. And how old is he? Does it say how old he is?
I want to say, hold on. I'll tell you that too.
25, something is he, Jackson?
Yeah, he'll be in his 30s then. I think he is he 25?
24. He's 24.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's like, well, that's
he just turned, and credit to him, he just turned 24, so he's still relatively young.
So he'd be 32, probably, wouldn't he? In 33. He'd be 32
something like
years
that.
of age in 2023.
About that, yeah, he'd be like around 31, 32 years old.
Yeah. It's a long contract. The mad world of Chelsea and their long contracts. But I think he will be going with Delap and Pedro coming in. But it's a striker for someone to buy, isn't it? There aren't many around. I'm sure he'll get his move and it'll probably be within the Premier League.
But he's set up for life. He's set up for life. He can always just sit.
If Newcastle were to take Nunez, oh my goodness, that'd be hilarious. That'd be something.
That would be payback for Andy Carroll.
Yeah.
32 million we bought him from Newcastle, and he was an absolute flop. Do you know what? It'd be funny if we return a favour.
He scored a couple of goals, and that was it. And he was absolute crap. He was a donkey, wasn't he? I mean, at least
I think that there's a difference between Nunez and Andy Carroll, though.
Oh, yeah, Darwin's skill.
There's a very, very
Carroll scored a couple of half-decent goals, but Nunez can score some really beautiful ones, like from different angles that Carroll could not.
Yeah,
Carroll goal was just a crappy back header from the penalty spot against Everton at Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final in 2012, was it? When we lost the finals to Chelsea. Yeah.
That was his best for Andy Carroll.
He had a crafty back header from around the penalty spot. And the Everton fans were like, he didn't mean it. It's like, he bloody did.
Do you know what? I'm going to suggest something, 12th man, about Nunez this season, yeah? So we've bought Ekitike. We've potentially going to bring in Isak, yeah? You know what? He's got no pressure no more. He's got no pressure of being that big flop signing now, because you know what? Everyone's going to focus on the shiny new toys now, isn't it? The Ekitikes, the Isaks, potentially the Verts. He's got nothing to lose, and he's been on form. And you know what? I'm willing to put a cheeky bet on, suggesting that if Nunez stays in the Premier League or he goes somewhere, or he stays in the Premier League but at another team, I think he bangs goals this year, you know. I think he gets a mad record this year.
Yeah. I think I didn't bring up Nunez, by the way. I didn't bring up Nunez. Everyone wants to talk about Nunez with me. That's the thing. Apparently Ben Jacobs recently tweeted that Darwin Nunez is giving preference to Napoli as his destination, with the Serie A champions also making him their top target. That's according to Ben Jacobs on X. Liverpool is aware of the interest, and Napoli is actively pursuing a deal. I don't know if they are going to meet the evaluation because a lot of the Italian teams really, really rarely pay market value, despite the market values for other players going on in Germany and France and here in England. They apparently think otherwise. So But you know what? I think that Darwin Núñez at Napoli would certainly be a fit. I think Darwin Núñez at Atletico Madrid would be a fit.
They're not. They moved on from him now. Napoli.
I think Darwin Núñez.
None of them will pay like what we want for him. I think we should lower our price a bit on Darwin.
No, I don't think so.
Darwin, like, a right team.
If you continue to lower your prices for players, and
not continue. You just do it once and then leave it at that. Just do it once by about 10 million and leave it at that. So it's more.
I already think that we've already lowered the price.
More uses in for his hand, for his signature.
Lee, what would you sell him for if you were the CEO or the transfer people? What would you sell Núñez for out of curiosity?
Well, we paid about £72 million, didn't we, out of the 85 or whatever it was? Didn't we? In the end, we didn't pay all the thingies.
What we actually paid. I got you.
So I'd be happy with roughly half of what we paid out. I'd say about 40 million pounds for Darwin. So that'd be like, I don't know, 50 million euros, is that something? I was asked for them, and I think we'd definitely get buyers then.
Oh,
they're reportedly asking for 70 million pounds for Darwin Núñez.
That's too much. That's what we paid. That's what we paid.
I know. Well, no, that's what we're asked. That's according to reports. That's what the price tag is being put on Darwin Núñez is 70 million pounds.
No wonder. No wonder then that he's still here.
No wonder. I think that's funny. Like, as in, it's just funny because like that player we all just openly admitted that we think that he would be an asset to teams. Maybe not Liverpool in the way that everyone wants him to be, but he's still an asset for other teams. So like, I know that you might not value him for Liverpool. That's your own opinion and your own choice, your own preference. However, it doesn't mean that his value in the overall market isn't still about 70 million pounds. And especially since we just spoke on how crazy the market is, we now want to go to that supermarket and be like, well, we're going to go to that, the farmer's market here and say, I know everyone else is selling their goods for like high prices, but we're going to sell for bargain basement prices. No, we're Liverpool. We don't have to. He's on contract. You get what we value him at. If you don't value him at that, cool. Darwin willing to play here, and again, he's not going to do some like situation where they're going to have to put him to pasture to get him out of the club. He'll play. He's obviously playing now. He's obviously involved. He's scoring goals now in preseason, but 70 million is at least a starting point. Now, whether you get 65 or whether you offer a little bit under the 70, that's one thing. But if you're going to say, oh, here's 50 million, even though your evaluation is 70 million, are you having a laugh?
No, but essentially you can put structures into it, innit? Like if he wins this or if he scores over 20 goals, we can potentially say, okay, because if he goes to any club at 50 million, it's a low price. But if he hits targets, because that's what they're doing nowadays, isn't it? Like targets this and that. And if he does actually cook in, say, for example, in Spain, where the game's suited better for him, potentially he can eventually, be the 65, 70 odd that we're looking for. Because if he doesn't cook anywhere, then it will be like, okay, well, we've got 50 million off for him or whatever it is.
Well, that's why, he's still.
If we get the full amount we want for Diaz, I'd accept like 50 million for Darwin. 50 million pounds.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing for. I believe personally, it's the same thing for. Here, let me look up what. Because I know that they have.
As far as I know, we paid about 73 million pounds for Darwin because we didn't pay.
But what we paid out so far has been 73 million pounds. Yes.
Yeah. So we wouldn't be losing much if we sold him at 70. I think we've got to lower it 10 at least. You know what I mean? Lower it 10 and see what happens then.
I think he's still a good striker. I mean, like, look, I mean, he's not done that great for Liverpool, but in terms of scoring goals. But when you look at his work rate, the pace that he's got, that, you know, he misses so much opportunities, but he's there to get those opportunities. It's pressure.
Yeah,
Really think it's pressure. If he goes with no pressure, or he plays this season at Liverpool, for example, if we can't sell him and we sell maybe Diaz or something, I think he will be better. I mean, some of his finishing that he did against Stoke were just predatory, you know, strikes. And we haven't seen too many of that. We've seen some really good goals, like you said, Lee, you know, some real, like, you know, distance ones and really great efforts, like individual efforts. But he has got it. And I just think this guy, he's just tried so hard, all right, to kind of like, you know, he's overcooked it in front of goal. And that's what's happened. He's just been on too much pressure. I think now if you get Isak or Ekitike and he's still there, I think now he doesn't become that one where everyone just watches anymore, because they'll be focusing on a £120 million Isak or £116 million Wirtz. He's old news now, and I think that might suit his career better.
Lee, his kids just said Núñez was always better off the left, and that is something that he can play on the left. He doesn't have to play through the middle. Like when he moves, you know, he could go somewhere and play to the left of the central striker. So we'll see what happens with him. I think he will get his move. It just doesn't seem like it at the moment. But it's still early-ish in the window. Like when you think we've got about 5 weeks, haven't we, at the very least left? Or over 5 weeks left for him to find a move. I'm sure he will at some point. It just seems a bit tough at the moment. Napoli didn't have the money, did they? And pulls out. But there will be someone in for him, I'm sure.
To answer some of the chat's questions, again, Lorenzo Luca was just signed by Napoli, but again, my comparison would be the fact that we just signed Ekitike and we're about to try to sign Isak. So just because you sign a player doesn't mean that, it's done and then you keep it moving. Maybe they would like to sign Luca and Núñez together and have them compete, if not maybe play together. Who knows? Yes, certainly so. They've signed KDB. They have signed KDB. It would be nice. I mean, like, look, I know that if I was Núñez and seeing what KDB did for Holland, maybe he says, you know what?
Belgium.
Huh?
Belgium. You said Holland.
Holland? No, I said no. KDB, Holland, as in like.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Player,
my bad.
The player.
I thought you said Holland.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I get you now. Yeah. No, KDB could, maybe offer up some opportunities for him because he would do some of the things that me and JK have been clamoring would be nice to see him do. But I was going to bring up the last point before we move on. Ekitike, Diaz was, for instance, I know that the Bayern Munich is very determined. Apparently, the company hasn't given up his pursuit of Diaz, but yet Diaz's asking price is being reported to be 80 million euros. So again, it's like he is 28. He is a little bit older than Núñez, so there maybe that's the reason why it's about the same price. But the same thing is that, hey, if you don't want to spend the money, I don't see why we have to, give discount prices for our players when other teams continue to try to milk as much money out of us as possible. And we're willing to pay market value. People that we sell should be able to pay market value as well. I don't like I wouldn't accept being in this discount mentality. But Nalante's with us too. I don't know how Nalante feels about that. Big up Nalante.
Yeah, big up 12th and also Baz. Good to hear you, brother. Good to hear you, Baz. All the time, man. And obviously JK, my hitter. Easy now. And Lee.
Easy now.
Lee.
Easy.
Liverpool Lee. Evening, Lee, mate. Always got the latest news at Liverpool, whether it's the betting shop or Anfield. Lee's your man.
Right. It's the ladies' man. Lee's the ladies' man.
Of the bookies.
There you go.
Well, it's definitely good that Nolante is with us now because we're going to talk about one of his preferred players on the squad. Trent Alexander-Arnold walked his way out of Liverpool for free and went straight to the confines of Madrid
10 million.
for 10 million euros. There you go. And now Konaté could do the same. His contract ends in 2026, and he's rejected a new deal. He's rejected multiple new deals, by the way. Real Madrid and PSG are sniffing around. I actually wouldn't mind seeing if we're going to sell him. I don't want to sell him to Real Madrid. I would prefer to sell him to PSG. But all that said, Liverpool are reportedly holding firm, though, in asking for a 50 million euro bid for Konaté. I think that's doing what Lee was just trying to say we should do for Nunez, in that giving him a discounted rate. However, he is in the last year of his deal, so that makes it a little bit of a different story. I guess you could say asking for 50 million euros would be a decent return on a player that's in the last year of his contract. I'm going to ask Nolante this. Can Liverpool afford to risk losing Konaté for free, much like they did for Trent?
Not really, but again, do they have a choice? That's the key. Do they really have a choice? If he says I'm going to sit down, it's not much they can do. I mean, you want to put him in the reserves, there's no point. Unless we're going to do that and get Gay. So it is what it is. I've heard Liverpool send him another renewed contract offer today. So let's see what happens with that. But you know my thoughts, Dolph. I'm done. Just go. If you don't want to be here, just go. Just go. Get me Gray. And now Hato's coming out of our clothes. I don't know why we're sleeping on Hato, and he's getting to Chelsea. So just go, Ibu.
Who was it? There was someone on the squad that was like, "Oh, look at Ibu. He's happy now because he's got a French player on the team. He's all like talking his French to Ekitike walking off the pitch." JK, is 50 million euros a fair valuation, or should we command more given his age and quality?
Bro, I'm happy if we get 40. 1 year left. We'll be looking
40
for
million,
40
million pounds or 40 million euros?
euros.
Oh, wow, really? Okay.
That's how it's going to look.
Okay. That's pretty low. Okay.
No, but Madrid, they will never give us 60 million.
Okay. Do you think that this says something, Baz, about Liverpool's contract management under Slot and Hughes if we allow for another player to leave on a free?
Do you know this contract thing with him, Salah, Trent, and these guys? Yeah. Remember, like we don't know in it as fans. We only see what hits the tabloids and stuff like that in it. Like for example, with Trent, there could have been so many, and the guy just wanted to go. So I mean, the contract thing, I'm not too concerned. My concern is winning titles. And if Ibu stays and goes for free, yeah, we always want money because we can invest in the team in it. But if we win everything, say for example this season we keep Ibu, yeah, and we let him go on a free, but we win, I don't know, 3 cups out of the 4 or 5 or whatever, yeah, that generates money enough to go and buy another player. Yes, we want money at the end of the day. So I'm more inclined to keep him and let him go on a free. However, if we are going to sell the player, look, he's on a one. This is his last year. Yeah, we bought him for 35. So if we can get like a little profit or the same sort of price on him, then I'm all right with that. Yes, if we were looking to sell him for 50 million pounds or 60 or something like that, that's great profit in it. But it wouldn't surprise me. Liverpool are very good on selling players for overinflated prices anyway. You know, you have to look at some of our players that we've sold over the years that, you know, that haven't gone on and become brilliant. However, you know, the one that really got me was Kelleher when he left. We could have got a little bit more than that for him. But hey.
Interesting. You were upset that we didn't get more for Kelleher?
100%. I think listen, mate, you know what? I mean, he's gone to a good club because I don't know if he will stay at that club. I think at some point he'll end up at a bigger club. He's just done the right thing. He's gone to a club that there's no pressure, there's nothing. He's gone on a cheap as well. He'll start as number one. Age is on his side. Essentially, he's done the right thing. But what did we sell him for? 18 million, something like that.
12.5 million.
How much?
12.5 million plus 5.5 in add-ons as well.
Okay.
Extra bonus that he can reach. For
the best number two and potentially, you know, elite goalkeeper now being a number one, he's you know what? We could have got a bit more. I'd have been, because like Nottingham Forest.
And again, you want to. So let me get this straight. You're willing to give bargain prices on players that are in in a high profile, high price marketed position, but yet you're not happy when we give a relatively modest evaluation. So, and especially working with the players, the player wanted to leave, obviously, and we honored their wishes. So, working with the player to get his move and working it to the point where we kept him in England, where he wanted to stay in England, so we got him a team in England, and to make it all work, we maybe took a little of a haircut on the price.
Sorry, I'm a bit baffled as to what you're saying. I just think.
I mean, like it's like we should make bargains for Diaz and Nunez, and we should.
I never said that.
Oh, okay.
No. Well, do you think Darwin's haircut was a cry for help? He was saying, "Look, have a haircut on the price as well, please, guys. Show us some charity, will you?"
Oh,
no,
so it goes in 2 games.
Go ahead, Monte. Go ahead. What did you say?
I was going to say four goals in 2 preseason games. I don't see much of a cry for help.
No. Yeah, Darwin got his haircut because the last time he got his hair shaved the way he did, Darwin scored over 30 goals in Portugal.
32.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do like superstitions like that. Some players put their right boot on first. Some, you know, and are funny about it. Like, and quite interesting to hear about these little superstitions.
Do you know what it is? 12. Yeah. If I look at what we have right now, all right, like Ibu. Yeah, I want money for him. I want good money for him. Yeah. If we're gonna go invest, and we probably might invest. But you see, right now, if Ibu is injured, and this is a possibility, yeah, because obviously Ibu's record isn't the greatest, yeah. We don't have a lot, but when he is fit and he's well and he's firing all cylinders, tell me, is there a better partnership than him and Van Dijk in England? I don't think there is. You know, someone might say, all right, Arsenal's, you know.
You could say, yeah, I'm being cheeky, but I was going to say, VVD and Gomez, but go ahead.
Well, yeah, but again, Gomez has got the same, believe it or not, 12. You know, Gomez and Ibu, yeah, they have
the best record statistically. They have the best partnership record out of all the partnerships. Matip, Ibu, all those. Yeah. Gomez has the best relationship.
There is that, yeah. But you see, the thing is, they had a good partnership. But you know what? If I'm a striker and I've got to face Ibu and Van Dijk, yeah, it's like I ain't gonna fancy him. At least with Gomez, I think, you know what? Maybe, you know what I mean, like I can like buoy him off, you know what I mean? But he's fast. He will get a tackle in and stuff like that, innit? But on a real, yeah, I think Ibu is worth too much for us at this moment to actually sell him, because there is Gehi, yeah, and I do rate him. We might eventually, you know, get him. I think he may be our last signing of the window if we do get Isak or Rodrigo. It all depends. But I think Ibu. It's a really tough one.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask actually the whole entire panel. Just give me your preference to this scenario. All right, Ibu has 1 year left. Do you cash in? Let's say someone does come out and say, "Yeah, we'll give you 4." Let's say PSG says, "You know what? We're not going to pussyfoot around. Here's 40 million euros, and that's that." Okay. So, would you prefer to sell Ibu and get the 40 million euros? Would you prefer to keep Ibu, allow for him to leave on a free, but keep Ibu and get Gehi in at the same time? Or is it a case where you don't care what happens with Ibu this year? You just focus on getting Gehi or some other, and you make him the starter, whoever is coming in the door, the starter, as opposed to having Ibu and VVD as your starting group, which is that middle scenario. What are you doing, JK?
Could you repeat that, bro?
I knew you were going to say that. All right, Nalante, Lee. I know Baz is listening, but Nalante and Lee, just in case you guys are getting like some tea or something. Would you prefer to sell Ibu? And you can tell us this in the chat too, your preference. Would you prefer to sell Ibu for 40 million? Let's say PSG comes in and says, "You know what? We're not even going to mess around. Here's 40 million. That's your evaluation. Cool. Here's 40 million euros." Scenario B, we keep Ibu. He can leave on we keep Ibu for the year. He'll leave on a free. Okay. But we get Gehi in. But Gehi plays as a backup as opposed to we utilize Ibu. I guess I could throw a third scenario in. Do we just suck it up and pay the money to Ibu, the 250, whatever he's asking for, 280,000 that he's asking for? Or final scenario, do we just say, "You know what? Whatever happens, happens. Let's just focus in on getting another player to start next to VVD. You can keep him for the year and or not, whatever you want to do. Cool, Ibu, you want to be that way, cool. But we're going to get a player and we're gonna bring him into our team so we can move on with our future rather than have to rely on you as being a stopgap."
Mm-hmm.
4 scenarios.
There's a few.
Yeah.
I'm going straight. If someone offers 40 million, 50 million tomorrow, I would sell him. But I would have 2 lined up straight away. Right after he ends up going, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you would
yeah.
Yeah.
We need another one anyway. Right now, even with Konaté here. So for me, the money we'd get for Konaté now, Gay, that's his fee sorted. Maybe a little bit more there. Crystal Palace have got a high fee for a guy with a year left as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then Inacio, the guy's name, I said yesterday, remember that guy? Inacio. No one's ever talked about him, but today his name popped up. Weird one. His name.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Bonkers put that. I think Bonkers or someone else put that into the chat earlier about how that. He's a name that's all of a sudden popped back up into the cipher. Nalante, what are you doing out of those 4 scenarios?
Same with JK, get me the 40 mil because he sounds like a guy that's just, I can't trust him and says, "Bye-bye, see you later. Get me Gay in another, and we're good to go."
Okay.
Done.
Okay. All right, so 240 million sales there. Lee, what are you doing?
Is it 40 million euro?
40 million euro.
Just on 35 million pounds. It's not a lot, is it, for Ibu Konaté? I think I'd be inclined to keep him if the offer was that 35 million quid. I'd be inclined to keep him and add Gahey and then let them two duke it out for to be Virgil's partner this season, like for the majority of the games. See who wins between the two of them.
Baz, what would you do?
I'm keeping him, man. I'm keeping him based on we can. If it's only about wages, I'd give him the wages. Then he signs.
You'd buckle and give him whatever wages he's asking for.
I don't even think it's a buckle. I look at him and I think he's important for us. Yes, he does have injuries. Yeah, we do need to bring an understudy or someone that can keep him on his feet, or challenge Van Dijk at some point, because Van Dijk's got years after this, or 1 year after this next year. I would bring Gahey in. Obviously, not at that stupid £70 million. I would bring in someone else, because Ibu is important for the dressing room as well. He's got that presence, and I think you need him in there, even if it is for an extra year. Because look, this year we're bringing in some great players, and all eyes are going to be on Liverpool. We've got you don't want to bring in another player that on a cheap that is not Premiership proven or anything like that, and then we have an issue at the back, because where he plays is where potentially someone like Frimpong is playing, and Frimpong obviously he's not Premiership proven. He likes to go forward, unless we play Bradley as well, you know what I mean, and stuff. So I would be more inclined, because it's still not enough. It's still not a lot of money that we're going to sell him for. Because Ibu on a 4-year contract or 3-year contract, if he's going to any team, right, is at least 70-odd million quid. We're not going to get nowhere near that, yeah? So why not just keep him? He's important to us. Bring in someone that's understudy that can learn off him for a year. And, if there's any injuries, you know what I mean? Like, that guy will step in. Or what you do is go and buy yourself a project player, a young project defender, and just give Ibu what he wants. And I think he wants to stay at Liverpool. I don't even think it's a Madrid thing. I think he's just asking for, listen, pay me what I'm due. And if that's the case, then just do it, because I think he's important to us.
Okay. Brian's just joining us right now. I'll give you a shot at answering that before we move on to the next topic. Hopefully you heard the 4 scenarios. I don't have to go through them again.
I can guess. My version of what I would do. The conflicting reports on, like, I thought it was like, no, he wants to go. Dude wants to go. So either we extract the maximum fee now, which still leaves us short of time. I don't even like it now. I don't even like the money now, because we're short of time, dude. Short of time,
Yeah.
At this stage, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Just keep him. For the disruption, the 20, 35, 20 minute, 30, it's not even going to be worth. I'd rather just keep the guy at this stage, just eat it next year and go, look, he's going on a free. That's kind of the way I look at it right now, and just get a professional attitude out of him, get a commitment from him that, yeah, you're going next year, but while you're here, because, we need to replace Kwanzaa. So having to replace Kwanzaa and Ibu in the same summer while we're doing all this stuff, it's just mental. So at this stage,
on it. Worst case scenario is gives us 12 months to scout a replacement, doesn't it?
Exactly.
It's the World Cup year. He'll want to be in that France team. You better believe that. But him and Gahey, that'd be a nice duel between them, and obviously we'll have Joe as well. That'd do me then. And the thought that we've got 12 months to find a replacement, and the worst case scenario is he walks because we can't reach an agreement with him over his wage.
Yeah. If we were to get Gahey, Gahey wants to be in an England squad. So, I mean, as much as Konaté wants to be in that French squad, so if getting time played on your club team is a heavy prerequisite of like you getting the nod to go with the club, then obviously he's going to be vying for those minutes just as much as Konaté would be.
But that's great for Liverpool. because then it shows that these guys want, they want to play for, in the World Cup and stuff like that. So they're going to want to be in that team and stay in that team, and they're going to have to perform. And that's just great for Liverpool.
Top
But to counteract that, Baz, last season, Slot, regardless of whether either was for no Konza and Joey, even Joey had a good game. Is he going to be the fact of the rest of Konaté if in certain games? That is the thing. So we can say that competition is good, but it's no point him coming and he gets about 5 league games. See, this is the issue, and I don't know if Slot will do that. That's the problem.
I think Virgil can be rested. I mean, do you guys?
Well, he needs to be at some point. We have to. I know we got last season was good and we played, but I've said it and I'm not going to change my stance. Mo and Virgil at some point. Yeah, Baz.
You see what I mean? So sorry to cut you, but what I mean by that, you're 100% right with that, because Slot does have his favourites or certain things. I totally get that. But you see what, with Van Dijk, you can rest someone like Van Dijk now because we've got 2 quality defenders in there. Do you see what I mean? They're both vying for that international slot, so they're gonna want to play, and then you can give someone like a Van Dijk who, over the last 5-6 years or so, he's been at Liverpool. He's just been played, ACL, played. You know what I mean? That's what I meant by that. But I take your point.
Take care of him, haven't we? Now we've got to take care of him.
That's a fair point, Baz.
Yeah,
fair point. That's a fair point. So all for me is just, again, like a definitely fair point, Baz. I don't know what happens. So I understand Gay's point is I'm gonna come and competition, but if I'm just getting like as much as I could, who knows, we crumbs at the table, then what is the point of me going? I could just stay another year, solidify my World Cup place, and then I'll come next season, and then all systems go. That's the thing, because I remember even before the age. Yeah. I remember
he would be the top choice at Crystal Palace. I'll let you finish. He could be the top choice at Crystal Palace.
Yeah, go for it.
And have the same, flexibility or mobility to choose whatever team he wants to play for, going into that next window, simply by either getting a huger paycheck from Crystal Palace or by him getting to whatever team he wants to go to.
Yeah, so, exactly. Spot on 12. Spot on.
I feel Gay. Sorry.
Wait. Let Konaté finish what he had to say. Then you can go.
Sorry, Leah. I was just going to say quickly, all I remember is last season when, before Ibra got the injury, he's very good, but there's 1 or 2 games he weren't great. I remember the Brighton game specifically, he had a stinker. He came off 45 minutes and Joey, who was fit, was solid. He solidified that backline with VVD. Mm-hmm. And I know it's just 45 minutes, but my point is with the Gray thing is it doesn't really give you a sense of it. Joey, like no one can tell me Joey, like I said, I'll argue to the hills. And yes, he's my favorite player. I could argue if fit Joey is just as good as Ibra, for me, a little bit better. And he was solidified, but nothing happened, nothing changed. So my point is the fact that Slot has not shown me. And again, this season, he's bought the players, so I'm sure he will rotate. Show me that regardless of certain players' form, even if they have a stinker, 2-3 weeks, he likes who he likes, and he will pick them. So, but he's bought the squad, the players he's done. Then again, so I'm assuming he will rotate better and learn from last season in terms of using the squad to his full abilities. So that's all I want to say. Anyway.
Yeah, for me, a back 2 of Konaté and Gay, he should be well good enough for us to win games and be able to rest Virgil. Added to 9 other players, Konaté and Gay, he should be like a good enough back 2 that we'd be able to potentially rest Virgil more than we have done in the past, because he always plays the games for Holland as well. Even when he played bloody Gibraltar or something, he has to play. Mm-hmm. So we've got to think of that like now with him, the age he's at. Just to take care of him, because without him, we are effed, aren't we? Like without him, that'd mess our season up if we overdid it with him. So we've got to take care of him next season a bit better, I think. and let him sit a few games out. There will be games that, you know, we can do that for. Surely there'll be a couple of those Champions League ones, a couple of league ones where we'll be able to rest them, and the drop-off won't be so severe that, you know, we can't win a game.
Well, let me I want to make sure that we get into all the topics here. So we got about, originally we're going to have 10 more minutes, but now I'll extend to another 40 minutes to get through this show. Hyler was saying, have you seen that both Robbo and Simicast have been used in central defense in the training matches? A coincidence, he says he's sure. We've seen Robbo play the central half position for us before, or the left halfback position. We've also I haven't seen Simicast do it yet. I must have missed it when he did, but not saying he has. I'm just saying I didn't see that preseason match. But I don't think that that's going to be our future. I would sooner, just like Nolante said, I would sooner see us go with bringing a player like Hato, be able to be versatile enough to play left back, but also play left center. Know that he can play left center half, as opposed to trying to warrant a player into being able to play left center half for us. This next segment that I was going to get into was the training in Hong Kong. Our Reds were in action. We got to see, little bits and pieces of Ekitike joining the squad, interacting with them. Liverpool's open training in Hong Kong was pure vibes for sure. 25,000 fans packed into Kai Tak Stadium. Salah was on Diaz's back, literally, while Ekitike arrived to a warm welcome. Here's what we all saw, which is obviously Salah playfully interacting with Diaz. Despite exit rumors, Diaz still seems to be light at heart. He still seems to be very jovial with his teammates. Bradley versus Frimpong is getting to be a very, very contested question of slotting into the right back competition with real intent. Ekitike, we spoke on, landed. He's expected to debut versus Yokohama next week, a game that I definitely will be interested in seeing. And the Allison scare, I know that he had a knock from Darwin in the sense of he was trying to close down on a loose ball and ended up getting a little bit of a knock, but this is no long-term injury from the knock. I'm going to ask Brian, and then we'll just go through. Just tell me, real quickly, who you think. You don't have to go too deep into your explanation of it. But who starts the season at right back for us? Is it Bradley or is it Frimpong?
Me first, is it?
Yeah, Brian.
All right, okay, yeah. Bournemouth at home. I've said it from day one. Kirkes walks into this team. He's our new left back. Lock it down, sign it up. That's it. He's but Bradley and Frimpong, completely different story. I think it's a completely different story. I think the consensus is, Frimpong now. I don't think it's as easy as that at all. I don't know how to give any. I think it's literally kind of 50-50. I would guess first game of the season, Bradley. I would guess Connor, but I just think Frimpong is such an option. He's such a kind of a wild card kind of thing where I don't see him as that's your new right back now. I think he's got a genuine fight on his hands there. I think Connor Bradley is going to start a shitload of Champions League, Premier League, a lot of games next year. Connor's going to start. Mm-hmm. You can start a game with Connor, bring on Frimpong to open it up. You can start a game with Frimpong, bring on Connor to lock it down. You've got all these kind of different options there. So, yeah, I really reckon they've got a real kind of a split on minutes. Whereas, like I said, with Kirkes, I think Kirkes is just a left back now. So yeah, I don't know, but I would, if you have to ask me now, I would say at home against Bournemouth first day, I think Bradley starts. Just in that particular game, I think it'd be Bradley.
Milante, how about for you?
Yeah, it's going to be the young Northern Irishman, Connor. Yes, Bradley.
Okay. Bradley, 2 for Bradley. Okay. JK, how about for you?
Frimpong.
Frimpong. Okay. Baz, how about for you?
I think Irishman hit the nail right on the spot, man. I think it'd be a toss-up, and depending on who we're playing, could essentially just start off with either one. You know, if we need a bit more attacking, with low blocks and stuff like that. It could be Frimpong if you want like a defensive steal. You've got Bradley. To be fair, the first game I would probably start Bradley.
Okay. 3 for Bradley, 1 for Frimpong. Lee, you're last but not least.
Yeah, I'd start Bradley and say Frimpong for a sub. Like if we're struggling to break Bournemouth down, his pace in the second half, sometime in the second half, that pace coming on, let him make his debut that way and start Bradley, I think. Without Gravenberch, aren't we, on the opening day? But I don't think that'll make much difference to who picks it right back. The fact that we're out with Gravenberch. But yeah, I'd go with Bradley and bring Frimpong on as a second half sub with that pace, just in case we need, like, something to.
I'm also talking about the start of the season, not this preseason, by the way, in the chat, just so you know.
Yeah, that's how I'd start the season in general. I'd go the first few games. I'd start with Bradley and bring Jeremy on as a sub, and then maybe start him for a couple of games and see how it goes. Just, a little roundabout there. And it will be dependent upon who we're playing, won't it? Like, and what sort of threat.
I would hope so. I would hope that our coach does more of that than just sticking to his guns and trying. It's tough because you do want to get some familiarity. You want to get some cohesion with the team, and you do. But again, I would hope. I would like to see our coach do more of recognizing our competition and utilizing the weapons that we have, rather than just saying, "Oh, I'm going to just hold pat," with the team that we we normally go with, and make them have to, and to see what happens when we go up against whatever competition that we go up against them in. And I mean, like, as in Premier League games, I understand our rotation will be the case for your FA Cup or your League Cup games. But for the games that are very, very coveted in the sense of the Premier League or even Champions League, I'd like to see us go with the more, hey, who are we playing? Can we utilize this player to capitalize, that advantage, rather than say, oh, well, let's just start Bradley every time, or let's just start Frimpong every time.
See the few less, whatever happens this season. I'm looking forward to seeing like Bradley and Kirk as actually like two quite combative, like full of beans, young fullbacks. Like, I'm not discounting Frimpong, but I'm just saying, like, as a defensive unit, maybe having 2 new fullbacks would give our defense a better chance of keeping a few less goals out this season.
Do you know? Sorry, can I just quickly add? Do you know? On our both our fullbacks, they're very full-blooded defenders as well. They go in challenges really hard, and when you look at like Bradley does have an injury, and I don't want to tempt fate and knock wood he stays fit as possible. But these players, it's good that we've got these. We've got Frimpong and like Robertson or Tsimikas to cover these two, because I know when you look at Kirkes, look at the other day, it was. His first game, he's headering the ground and the ball. You understand? He gets a kick in his head, some major thing like that, yeah, that does put him out for a while. We've got players in, and that's what I'm so happy about. The fact that we've got good cover there, because Bradley and Frimpong, it is a toss of a coin, literally you can use them. And I know an Irish man in the chat is saying that our manager knows exactly what he's doing. Yeah, you're right. He knows what he's doing. But there is that, what you were saying as well, 12, that we definitely need to utilize our squad better than last year, a little bit more this time, because everyone's going to know the second season now is going to be a challenging one for Slot, and teams have invested as well. Man City are back there. Arsenal have obviously put their so-called finishing touches of their squad. We're going to have a better challenge this year, and we need to utilize this team really well. But we've got a great team now, and I think we've got great cover. So yeah.
Okay. Quick question on that I wanted to follow up to is that, obviously we saw Salah and Diaz playfully, having fun on the pitch and enjoying the time, and not necessarily looking like they're all in their feelings and such. Is that a good sign, do you think? I'll just ask one of you actually. I'll ask. Let me ask JK. Do you think that's a good sign of Lucho? That kind of takes away, does that calm your fears of him leaving, considering you see his attitude amid the Bayern interest?
Yeah, he's been a top pro for us anyway. He's got a right attitude, always gives 100%. So for me, I think he wants that move. I think it will happen soon, bro.
Okay.
I've got a funny feeling.
All right, I'm gonna do this next topic or segment is gonna be really, really quick. It's only gonna be like 10 minutes. So our new boys, Ekitike, Frimpong, Verts, and others have all been assigned these high numbers, like 54 through 60 or 62 and stuff like that. They're not permanent. I know it looks a little weird because, like you see, I think I saw Ekitike with the number 62, I think, or something like that on his kit or something like that. And the reason why they're doing that is because Liverpool's Adidas era begins August 1st. So we won't see them get their new kit numbers until we get our actual kit sponsor to be coming through. Do you think that Diaz deserves to keep the number 7 shirt if he stays? I'm going to ask that to Nolante.
Does Diaz deserve to finish if he stays? The weird question. Yeah. Keep it.
Keep it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's high. It's a highly regarded number. I mean, we've had some greats wear it before him.
True. Well, I just need to see his level just raise a little bit more this season, raise even more. If that's all.
Okay. Okay, I'll ask JK. Does Ekitike, if Nunez were to stay, does Ekitike demand, in essence, in your opinion, to take the number 9 shirt from Nunez?
Ooh.
Or even does the team wait to see if Isak walks through the door?
That's the thing. That's what I mean.
Chiesa's leaving. What number does he wear?
14.
That's Isak's
13,
number.
I think.
No, he wears number 14. That's Isak's number. So we're already covered there.
Yeah, but yeah.
Has he got a thing with the 14 or something? Is he got a thing with that?
I think it's his birthday, I think.
Oh, is it? Okay. That's his thing, is it?
I think he will. I think he might wear the 9, But let's say, listen, I don't even just. I'll just wait until he.
I don't know. I
think
don't
happen.
know.
I haven't bought him yet.
If he signs, I don't give a shit what number he has.
Yeah, exactly. You wear number 527
number
for all I
98.
care.
98, I don't care, bro.
Shit.
He's at 98. That's good, man.
As long as they're happy, get him in the door, give him a number, and get him out on the pitch.
I think that's Dioni's number. I think it's 98.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
Not Jota's number, though. Sorry, lads.
Well, yeah, obviously.
He's retired. He's retired. Yeah,
I know.
Retired,
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying,
innit?
No,
Okay,
he wouldn't.
all right.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't care, I understand that, so I won't ask Baz or Brian, but I'll ask Lee.
No,
this
I know. I didn't say I don't. I was
I know,
joking.
facetiously
I'm not
saying
saying
it.
I don't care what number he wears, but if the guy wants a number and it's available, give it to him. If it's not, wait around.
The way that we do it, the way
Isak,
that
or what's his name? Vert said something similar, didn't he? There was that whole thing. Verts is going to demand the number 10, and he put out an Instagram post basically saying, "Look,
that he's not making
all
it.
this
That's
nonsense about me demanding a number 10. I would never disrespect anybody. I'll be happy to wear whatever number I get. I just look at it like that until they get the number they want." But I didn't know that about Isak. Does that mean that 14?
Leave.
No, but I didn't know that about Isak. If that 14, if that's like a little trademark he has or something, I didn't know. But that's cool. If that's available, let him have it. You know, if it
that makes sense.
Yeah, if it makes him happy. Let him have it.
No one should be forced, I think. Like obviously I know there are players like Diaz wear number 7, Nunez is number 9, Chiesa is number 14. I know these players are all speculation right now. But if they
changed his number, he was originally, I think,
27. Who? Diaz was 23, Nunez was 27. But they've now got the single digit numbers now, Fair enough. But until they leave, no one should be giving up their shirts to no one.
Exactly.
But
respect the player while he's still here.
Yeah.
Well, there is a way that here in America that often comes up, whether it's like, American football or even basketball or other sports. And if you have, and some players, just as JK was saying, if maybe number 14 is his lucky number or something like that. So, if there are players that are superstitious about it, or they just don't feel comfortable playing in that kit. I know that when Michael Jordan returned, he was number 45. He wasn't his regular 23. And then and then he ended up going back to 23, actually, after playing it was a weird situation. Nick Anderson was kidding with them in a game. He's saying, he's like, that number 45 is just not working for you. And then the next game, he changed to 23 and scored like 60 points. But what they do here in America is like they'll say if there is a number, like if a player is coming in, they have that number. What they'll do is they'll say, okay, well then you got to buy it from me, and they'll just they'll give him $50,000 or something, or it's pretty crazy.
What they do here in the UK,
or buy him a Rolex or something, and that's your gift to get the kit. Go ahead.
What do they do here in the UK generally? If, like, say, for example, Diaz was wearing 23 when he first came, and then suddenly he gets the number 7 shirt. What they normally do sportingly is they would refund fans, the kit's number. So they'll say, go to Liverpool and get your printed kit for the correct number.
Sure.
So I think they've done that. Someone done that one quite not recently. Yeah. Chamberlain or someone when he had when he got Sturridge's shirt, or was that else? I can't remember. One of them anyway. And what Liverpool has said was like, anyone that actually just bought Oxlade-Chamberlain's kit, you know what I mean, and just return it, and then we will just print out a new one or something like that.
Bold, some big Ox fans out there. That'd be bold.
Yeah,
I got turn it for number 15.
21 wasn't he before? I think.
Yeah.
And then he got 15 when Sturridge left.
Well, I was going to do this last subject because we're on 15, 20 minutes of the show. Work out perfectly, pretty much. Let's go around the pitch.
You didn't, Tyler. Sorry, can I just say no, you didn't. I'm just going to say, hi, Lord. No, you didn't.
Oh, okay.
You absolutely did not. You didn't.
There you go. Hopefully, he didn't get a handbag with a handbag. Handbag with a handbag attached to it.
we all know. Look, we all know the kids. Next week it's going to be handbag with a handbag with a handbag with a handbag. It's just how it goes. That's just
Brian, he needs that to carry all the defenders that he's going to pocket.
There you go. There you go, Baz. There you go, my friend.
Yeah, you're going to see all these defenders in his Louis Vuitton bag, mate.
Also, reckon if we sign Isak, he might just turn up with a Plazzy bag at the airport. You know what I mean? The duty free.
There you go. I don't have a drum kit here. I'll give you a drum kick, but I don't have. So let's go around the pitch real quick. Transfer rumors are flying, and some are straight up madness. And what I mean by that is Real Madrid, the ever so annoying, neighbor to pretty much everyone who has some type of formidable player on their team. Apparently, Real Madrid want Rodri. They are looking to get a bid in and bring Rodri to Real Madrid. I'm not certain if Rodri is entertaining this, and I'm not certain if he's even, done what we've heard Ibu do, and that is say that he would like to go there or something along those lines. But Real Madrid are willing to possibly pay 115 million euros for Rodri. Very interesting that they're willing to pay 115 million euros for a player that is coming off a very, very serious knee injury. But there's also the possibility of Son coming to America. That'd be interesting. There's a chance that he might be leaving Tottenham and joining LAFC. I think that'd be a phenomenal move for him, despite the fact of he's certainly, we all say, coming towards the twilight of his career. I think the reason why I'm saying it'll be a phenomenal move for him because Los Angeles has a very vibrant and incredible Korean community. So he would certainly get support the same way he gets the support in London. And heck, it'd be an opportunity for some of us to actually see him play. He's a talent. He's an immense, legendary talent, I think, for England and for the England game. And I think that it'd be nice to see. And then also, there are talks that Xavi Simons is on pretty much every shortlist in Europe. Apparently, Atletico was interested in Manchester United's Antony, but Xavi Simons, is set to possibly return to PSG or leave permanently. And I know that we've been in some talks about possibly getting the young player to join our midfield. I don't see that happening. I don't think that we need another midfielder at this very moment. We have I think we need to concentrate on our back line more so than our midfield. I'm going to ask the chat and I'm going to ask the panel too. Do you think that Rodri to Madrid is a realistic happening? Do you think that could realistically happen? I'll ask that of Lee first.
I hope so. That would be fun to see Man City have their star player pinched from their grasp by Madrid. Yeah, I'd have a good old shot at that one. Will it happen? Yeah. Probably not. I think Man City have still got enough about them that to be able to keep hold of Rodri for now, with Pep still being there. If Pep had gone, maybe Rodri would leave, but Pep's still there, and so don't think it'll happen. Be funny if it did, though.
Hilarious. I certainly would like to see it happen. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
I'll just go when you're off mute. That's when I'll go to you. So I'll go to Brian next, and then I'll go to Baz.
I'm here, by the way.
Okay. Cool. I'll go to you then, Baz. Yeah, Baz.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. No, I don't see it happening. I think he's too important for Man City. It would be great for us, you know what I mean, if he does go, but I don't see it happening. Not now anyway.
Okay. Brian?
I mean, it's Rodri. It's Madrid.
Yeah.
I'm not
Spain. I mean, it's going to be him going home.
Yeah, I'm not 100. I mean, everything says no.
115 million
because,
euros is the price that they said.
Oh
they're
well,
pulling.
yeah, no, yeah. Well, if City start playing hardball with the money, then no. But I mean, I don't know if he's in Madrid. Like he played for Atletico Madrid, right? He was there before. It. I wouldn't totally rule it out. No, I wouldn't totally rule it out. But yeah.
Lost.
I think they'd have to sell, and Rodri'd have to kick up a stink. He's 29.
Yeah,
You know, he's not like a 20. It's
he's not a young
future.
chicken. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not buying the future or anything. So, yeah, very, very slim. But I definitely wouldn't say, no chance on that one. He's Spanish international, Madrid, all that stuff. So,
If he were to go, I could certainly see that Tuchemeni rumor being more realistic. If they were to bring in Rodri, I don't see them holding on to Rodri, Tuchemeni, and Camavinga.
yeah, and Bellingham, and they got another guy in midfield as well, Valverde, and yeah, it's just a very kind of thing that would happen if you know what I mean. Rodri playing for Madrid, yeah, that sounds about right. But whether they could actually make it happen,
Yeah,
I don't know. If he was 23, they'd probably put all the money down. But 29, I don't know. But yeah, don't tell me Rodri doesn't want to. If you offered Rodri Madrid or Manchester, I think we know what he's picking.
Oh, absolutely. A la Madrid.
Yeah.
Hey, JK, is Son still elite enough for the Premier League, or do you think he's a perfect fit now in his career? Do you think he'd be more of a perfect fit for MLS?
No, it's too early for MLS.
Too early. Okay.
Too early. I think last season not great, but maybe this season now, new manager, Champions League, he might sort of spruce his game up. For me, top player though.
Top player. Sure. Yeah, player. I wish that I know Klopp was very high on him. I wish that Klopp could have definitely wooed him to Liverpool. But okay. And then Nalante, Xavi Simons. Would you take him at Liverpool this summer?
No, he's not for us.
That's blunt.
Good player. No.
Okay.
No for me as well.
No.
No,
Ron's answered.
Doritos.
Now that as we're all going in, yeah, no for me either. By the way.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah. All right. No, everyone jumped at it. Yeah, everyone's like, oh, Simon. No, let me make sure I get that in there. No. Okay. I got
He's overrated, man. Honestly, I think he's overrated.
Wow.
He's overpriced at least.
I think
he's a good player, but yeah, he's in the same bracket for me as Rodrigo.
This is it. He's a good player. That's you're right. He's a good player, but not what people are saying he is, man. Not yet, anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
He's just a good footballer. But what are Chelsea going to pay? £68 million or something? Nah, you're all right. We'll leave that one. Thanks. No thanks.
That's it, bro. Let Chelsea do what they do. Spend on 10 million, 8 wingers, 5 strikers, and a partridge on a pear tree. There you go.
And a death row contract as well, man.
Yeah.
Huge night on.
Big up, Snoop.
Yeah. They've got I think they've got something like over 40 players registered or something like that.
Damn.
Mad.
It's ridiculous. At one point, I think they had like 4 or 5 different goalkeepers or something ridiculous. It is something like, how many goalkeepers are you trying to start like a team of goalkeepers practically? It was interesting. But yeah. All right. Well, it's interesting to see. I would like to see Rodrigo to Real Madrid, simply because, just as you said, he's 29, going on 30. So
Yeah, I could do without his whinging
Sports writer
face,
doesn't
he
care.
complains to referees. It's just I could do without that, definitely. Could do without that in
Yeah,
the Premier League.
well, just because
All the
also
best
because Manchester
defenders
City
for it.
rely on him so much. Because of the reliance on him so much, to see KDB and Rodri leave in the same window would be fantastic. That would certainly send Manchester City reeling to figure out how to put the pieces back together on some solid ground.
Is he not injured again? I swear he was injured in one of the preseason games again.
He was
Rodri?
injured 3 times in preseason, Buzz.
Oh, okay.
He got taken off in every. I don't know if it was an over exaggeration, but I read a tweet that said he got taken off in every preseason game.
Who's this, Rodri?
Rodri, twice with injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to be very careful with him as well. I mean,
I agree. I don't understand. Again, like there are people thinking that Rodri, like as in Big Steve, I think his name is, was talking in like, you know, all with chest about how Rodri's back and it's going to make the difference. And then who else was saying? Saeed, I think was, you know, the Manchester United content creator was out there saying, oh, you know, saying how Rodri's back, so he's got Manchester City as his favorites. And I'm like,
yeah, but 12 man, you see, you've forgotten that Manchester United fans are famously expert on Man City players. That's famously their
that's their thing.
You know, their expertise, and that's their area of expertise. That's their famous for. Manchester United fans are famous for knowing what's going on. These guys don't even probably know where Man City are playing their preseason, dude.
They've got
it. Rodri's going to do this. Rodri's going to do that.
They big them up. They're all like, whenever they talk about this, whenever they're trying to, when Manchester United are trying to like put us down, quote unquote, you know, give us some banter, about the treble and this and that. The first thing they'll talk about is, oh yeah, you're not like us. Manchester's the only place that has trebles. Liverpool don't.
Yeah, but these are the kind of guy, man. These are the kind of guys, man, that they'll be out there and they'll be like they'll be on a thing for like on a diatribe for like 2 minutes saying, this guy's going to cook next year. He's going to cook. This guy last year, he wasn't very good. He's going to do this. He's going to cook. He's going to, and then someone will come in and chat going, they sold him to Leon 2 weeks ago. Yeah, that's the kind of guys you're dealing with. That they haven't got a clue. They were like,
I get it.
Yeah,
I know. There was I remember Kaz.
Asked quite quickly that City fan, like about Rodri. Do you remember Steve Austin, the $6 million man? We have the technology, we can rebuild him. And you hear that noise, like when he does a jump. That's what you should see Rodri's injury to that noise. See Rodri going down, clasping his knee.
No, I get it.
On his day, he's a great player. But that's why they bought that guy from AC Milan, in it, to essentially, you know, help him, you know, with the workload in it, to be fair. What's that guy? The Dutch.
Reinders,
that's it. Yeah, and he can play in a few positions. But on his day, let's not get it twisted. You know what I mean? If they
he's a good player too, by the way. He is a talented player.
But you know, when I look at our midfield, when we play them, we're gonna overrun them, man. I can't wait.
Yeah. We did the midfields. Yes, we did the best midfields yesterday. Ranked our top 10 midfields, or at least I gave my top 10. And then everyone that was participating in the show got to give their own top 10s as well, or say where they would bring certain teams in and bump other teams out. But yeah, I was just saying earlier, just to Brian's point too. I remember Kaz was saying originally he was all in for Cody Gakpo, and then all of a sudden when we got him, Cody Gakpo was a donkey or whatever he called him or something like that. He's a waste of space, and now he's back on the recognizing that Cody is a good player. So it's a very interesting situation. We will be wrapping it up here. It's coming up on the 2-hour mark. So we spoke about Isak's desire to join Liverpool. We've spoken on Konaté's contract drama. We're living in a wild, wild time, people. But here's the thing. Liverpool are back on top. We wear the crown this year, or wear the belt, whichever you want to say. And every club knows it. Let us know in the comments what you think of the Konaté situation, what you think of the Isak situation, what you think about anything that we spoke on. You can more than welcome to comment on anything, or maybe just bring up something that you would like to get answered. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's keep it 100. You know, we saw Ekitike join the team in Hong Kong. The new era is here, and we're going to actively be buyers and sellers and own, hopefully, this era of our football journey. So I'm going to allow real quickly everyone to say a plug for if they have something coming up or their final goodbye or final goodbye. We'll start with Lee.
It's been a great window so far, hasn't it? We've got the best curtains in the street, and we're not finished yet, are we? So let's see what happens in the rest of the window to make the others put their heads in their hands. Keep it going, yeah. Nice one. Cheers, everyone.
Baz?
Back on our perch, mate. Back on our perch. Our bird is back on our perch. And it's even getting me to really, really, really think about opening up my channel again. I mean, LVFC TV, watch this space, man.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and yeah, big up to the chat, and thank you for having me on 12th, and big up to the panel as well.
That's some exclusive news right there. Okay. Brian, do you want to tell people where they can find your channel, or if you want to tell people where or what you have coming up, or if you just want to say, you know, peace out? I know it's been a long day. Brian puts in the most hours out of all of us now. He's on his own show. He's on this show. He does us the privilege of being on this show. And then also he'll even be on other people's show even before his show. So he definitely puts in a lot of work. So shout out to Brian for doing so.
Yeah, get me to 500 so I can get super chats and you can pay my ass.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Brian's a gangster, man. I love Brian.
Yeah, there you go. Don't even hold any secrets about that. There you go.
Yeah, like right. It's just hard work, man.
It is hard work. It is hard work. If you think it's easy, people, it is not. Some people think it's just you can just like, you know, wake up and turn on the camera and go. It is not. You got to do your research. You got to put some structure to the shows for it to flow. You got to get great panels, get people to commit and have people actually follow through, which is not always the easiest thing to do. Then you got to have
try talking to Max for an hour. Just try talking to Max for an hour.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Try that.
Brian's show is open. It's an open forum for people to just to join. So, yeah, Brian's got the soapbox is welcome to everyone, basically, on Brian's channel. Yeah. So
good or bad.
You do get some variety of opinions.
Sorry, Brian, I will be on the show soon. You know what it is? You're doing your shows at 6, and I'm just doing a few little bits and pieces. I'm not getting home till about 7, 7:30, 8-ish. So, you know what I mean? I will definitely come on there, so don't feel like
no worries, man. 6 is just the start. They usually go 2-3 hours until 12, man. Now the 12th man is back. It's kind of like if I start at 6, if he starts at 9, I'll knock it on the head at 9. You know, it just kind of that way. But
yeah,
try not to overlap other people. It's hard enough. There's so little room out there. You know, you're looking at, I'll go live with Enz is live and Jamie's live and K-Mac's live and blah blah blah's live. It's it is hard to you don't want to. I don't care
prime
about
hours, isn't it? Yeah, it's prime hours. I normally do mine like late night because I do appreciate there's people on the other side of the planet as well, like, you know, in terms of time differences from the UK. So generally mine's are normally late evenings and that, but yeah.
All you have to do is just do it every day, man, and you do it every day, and at a certain time it's 6 o'clock somewhere, you know, like you say, different people in different parts of the world.
Yeah.
You know. They'll pick up on your show, you know.
Yeah, for real.
Is that like something when people like someone's like, oh, isn't it a little early to be drinking? It's noon somewhere. Okay,
Yeah, exactly. It's 1 o'clock somewhere.
It's 1 o'clock somewhere. JK, give her a shout if you would, please.
Just thanks to all the panel and the chat, and press like on the video if it's possible, and catch you guys soon.
Okay. Milante, last but not least. Maybe not. All right. Well, I'll say for Milante. Oh, okay, Milante's there. Good, cool.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. Let me tell you something, brother. And all the Liverpool fans out there. We are running wild up in the city. We are running wild up in the Premier League. So what you gonna do, City? What you gonna do, Arsenal? What you gonna do, Chelsea? When once you go, Diaz, Sopo, run wild on you, brother. Don't forget the Egyptian kid Mo. Big up, RIP to the, if you know, wrestling in the 80s and 90s. Exactly. Brian said, if you know, you know. So what you gonna do, City? What you gonna do, Arsenal? Well, words, Salah, Hugo, and the man they call the great Isak run round on you, brother. Good night.
Those 28-inch pythons, man. Those 28-inch pythons.
There you go. There you go. We will be leaving it there, people. Big up to each and every one of you on the panel. Big up to each and every one of you in the chat for sticking with us. We had a great number of people viewing this episode. Hopefully you hit that like button. 50 is the minimum that we have to have on the likes, so please do us that privilege. And till tomorrow, definitely be safe and continue to realize that you'll never walk alone. All right. And as always, my friends and family out there, up the Reds. We'll see you soon.